Django, lion in the concrete jungle, lion in the jungle, lion in the concrete, yeah.
And now, I was born a rambling man.
I was born a rambling man.
Something, doing the best I can.
That's all we can do, man. It's pretty appropriate, actually.
That's what's been in my head.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. But ever since the Simple Man episode, like thinking of those songs that are like nostalgic to us.
Right.
Sometimes they don't always put me in like the best moods, but it's like moods that I feel like I need to go through.
Yeah, oddly therapeutic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get like that sometimes. Like whenever I get in funks. It's like I was having that conversation with Ziggy like a month ago. Like whenever I get in funks, sometimes I like just staying in that funk. And it's like I'm aware of it. I'm aware that I'm in a bad mood, but for some reason, and it's like probably the brain just being self-destructive, but it's like I want to stay there. And so like I'll listen to music or things that are going to keep me there. They're just going to perpetuate those negative emotions.
Is it specifically like those kind of songs, like the older songs?
Sometimes. Yeah, well, I guess that's probably just kind of my taste anyway. One of those classic songs.
I think it's also like, for me too, those are songs that I love as well.
Yeah.
But, I think the fact that they were like our dad's go-to songs, I think that plays a part in it too. And like they were their go-to songs not only because of the time period that they were born in and stuff like that, also because like that put them in their moods. You know?
Yeah, probably.
Like I'll always remember like your dad when he would get started and he had those like 4 go-to songs.
Yeah.
That he would always hit. And they were great songs.
He played damn Styx Crystal Ball on repeat all the time.
I know that song by heart just because of him.
Yeah. I used to hate that song, dude. I'd be like, dude, you're just playing this shit again? And he'd be getting sloppy drunk and like crying and shit. And it's just like, what's going on? But now that I'm older, I get it.
But I mean, we'd be in the room playing Deliverance, like
just
over and over.
Yeah. That's funny. I used to play whenever I think about Deliverance, it was around the same time. I used to play fucking what's it called? It's by Nappy Roots. Po Folk, I think that's what it's called.
All my life
been Po, but it really don't matter no more.
And they wonder why we act this way.
Stop the ship, gonna be okay. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's kind of like everyone just saw me pick my nose. I swear I'm scratching. I swear I'm scratching my nose.
I promise you, I'm picking it.
Yeah. I hate that happens. Like I get inner nose itches all the time. I gotta deviate a septum so my nose be dry and shit.
Right.
And I'll legit be scratching my nose and just know that everyone thinks I'm probably picking my nose.
That's all right.
But
just go with it.
Random tangent. What was I gonna say? Oh, no, I don't know. I guess it's just fitting. Like I could tell just by like conversations we were having before this, like not in the most upbeat mood that we usually are, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. Every podcast episode ain't gonna be a banger because this is real life.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's listeners who, have felt that way maybe during other episodes when we're upbeat or like, everybody goes through those moods. But like you said, you like to stay in it.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's important to stay in it. I think.
No, not at all.
But it is okay to feel.
Yeah.
I
think it's important to not stay in it.
Yeah,
but
I think so too.
But I still do it. And I'm aware that I'm doing it, but I still do it.
You think there's something about that, like, that feeling and that pain that, like, feels like home a little bit? Because that's all you ever knew was, like, feelings like that.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
So what do you think it is if you could...
Something inexplicable. Something I can't explain.
But I don't think everybody's like that.
No, probably
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
So there's like a variable in there. I don't have the answer. I'm just questioning.
Just picking it, yeah. Picking the
Um,
brain.
Yeah, like there's a weird variable about like I wonder why people do that. I gotta Google it.
Misery loves company kind of thing.
Yeah.
Although I'm not necessarily trying to drag people down with me, but yeah, maybe I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like maybe the brain is self-destructive in that manner, like we previously talked about. So maybe the brain is just craving that misery and it wants me to remain in it with it.
Maybe it's missing something that like we've talked about that it doesn't have anymore, so it's trying to get you there by making you feel this way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's difficult to experience the emotions, be going through it, and at the same time trying to remove yourself from it to try and gain a greater self-awareness about it.
Yeah, that's like the crazy struggle that I think it's easy. So you just mentioned those 3 steps. I think a lot of people in life do those first 2, but they don't do that last one about like they know how they're feeling, they're aware of it, but they're not doing something to like get out of that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest part is
Mhm.
that last step.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's easier to just feel bad and like want to stay in it. The hard part is like somehow finding a way out of that misery,
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know?
Yeah.
And that's why I think that people who don't do that and they just stay their whole life like always combative and just down and stuff like that,
Mhm.
it would seem that wouldn't be the easier way, but I think it is the easier way. The harder way is to like have the strength to like push through that to make yourself okay.
Yeah, for sure. You're just going with the waves at that point. You're just
Yeah.
swimming with the current. Like your emotions are negative. It's easy to go along for that ride. There's nothing active that you have to do to continue going along that ride.
Yeah.
But if you want things to progress or get better or get out of that mind state, it's like, well, you got a little bit of work to put in. Whereas if you can go the other way and you ain't got to put no work in,
Yeah, like
life's already hard. Like, hey, of course that'd be easier.
I was listening to Theo Vaughn's podcast this past weekend, and he's like a really deep dude. He goes through a lot of like mental health stuff, very up and down, like in his own mind and stuff. And
Yeah.
he was talking about like a realization he's come to is that like motion gets you out of your head. Like whether it be through exercise or like getting up and doing what it is that you have to do that you've been procrastinating.
Mm-hmm.
But like staying at home, not doing anything, that's when your mind is on overdrive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, it really does. And it goes back into what we've talked about a lot of like, pushing yourself. It's just about forcing yourself to do that. And then once you're active, doing what you need to do, you start feeling a little better.
Yeah.
But your brain wants that time of nothing so it could just run and like do what it does. And
Yeah. Just creating a distraction for yourself.
yeah, and his just philosophy on it was just that he realized inside himself that motion kind of takes you out of that, just like by putting something in motion and like going towards. So like, before the podcast, I'm telling you stuff that I'm struggling with and what I know needs to be done,
Right.
So the only way that stuff's going to happen is if I'm in a better mindset and start to tackle those things one by one.
Right.
And it's like what we've heard about, they always say manifesting things and believing in something, but you have to do more than just believe. It's like the analogy, if you want to win the lottery, you can't just believe you're going to win the lottery. You have to go get the ticket,
Right.
And it's just a small analogy that we've said before, but it's just makes sense of there has to be action behind the belief.
Yeah, for sure. Hey man, I know I'm always throwing out biblical stuff.
No, that's good, man.
But what you just said is a pretty good derivation from something in the Bible. It's like faith without works is, I don't know what it says exactly. Faith without works is dead. Like you can have faith, but if you don't put in the work, you know, it's for naught. There's nothing there. And of course, that's talking about faith in God. But same thing.
That's very
you can have
applicable.
belief in anything, but if you don't put in the work, nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, and that's what's so cool about this is like, you know, when there are those ups and downs and dips and everything, this is still the highest priority.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to me because there's been other things in my life that when I have dipped, so has those other things. But this isn't like that. And it's just it's real motivating to me, just that one thing. And, you know, that's stuff that I have to hold on to, like those thoughts, what I just had of like, you know, that is a positive thing. That does make me feel good about myself. Good. You know, because it hasn't been like that with a lot of things in my life.
And that should be exciting also. It's like, why is this thing different? Why?
Well, I know all that. You know, that feeling is just like, you know, something we both know. It's just, this is it, you know?
Yeah. Just got to keep on putting in the work.
So I was explaining to my girlfriend, just talking about...
Yo, baby mama.
Nah, not yet.
Yo, baby mama.
One day. But I was explaining to her, because, you know, she does something that she's passionate about, but sometimes her motivation and stuff can dip, just like everybody's, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, just like everyone who's going after their dreams, at times there can be moments of doubt, or is like, am I on the right track? Am I doing the right thing?
Right.
But it's like what we talk about is that journey, you know?
Yeah.
And who knows if exactly what she's doing right now is her dream. But I know for a fact that it's the building blocks that will get you to whatever that dream is if you're still looking.
Right.
So in a sense, it is your dream, because you wouldn't get to that end goal without these years of doing what it is that you're doing. So you are following your dream.
Got it.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And, you know, that could just be perspective, but I think that makes sense.
It's definitely perspective.
Yeah.
Had a guy who said, treat your current job like it's your dream job.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me that like years ago, and it stuck with me, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I started off as a janitor, you know. Hey, treat that shit like that's my dream job.
Yeah.
And it is part of the dream, right? Because it's the building blocks. You're laying the foundation that's going to eventually catapult you to where you want to be.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing.
And I just think that...
damn, boy, you got some high-ass levels.
Do I?
Yeah, if I had Peg here, you know, this could be taken care of and shit. Go ahead, man.
Peg took the day off.
Taking a lot of fucking days off lately.
But, you know, I just think it's important to have that perspective about it, but also to know that, you know, failure is important.
Oh, absolutely.
In order to succeed. So sometimes, you know, maybe your dream job and where you're trying to get has nothing to do with what it is you're doing right now. But if you didn't go through that and fail and learn, then you wouldn't have succeeded later on. So that's also another reason that that's part of the dream.
Yeah.
Because without that failure, you wouldn't get to that place that had nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So, you know.
You know, I mean, joy wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain. You know. Yeah, but you got to go through the valleys, man. And it's super necessary. Shout out to my boy.
Yeah.
But it is super necessary because if you never experience failure, I guess you're good. But are you, right?
Because somebody's going to experience at some point in their life, no matter what.
Yeah.
And then what will happen to them if they've never felt that before?
Yeah, right.
That could be the ultimate destruction.
Right.
But if you've been there before, you know, oh shit,
I know these waters.
Yeah, I know these waters. I just got to pick up from where I did last time.
Right.
And it's like we always say, like the only true failure is death.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that's important to remember. But, you know, that may not even be a failure, but it's just like a perspective.
Yeah, exactly. It's a concept, people.
People are like, damn, he died. They're like, piece of
Fucking
shit,
failure.
loser.
Yeah. Join the club, buddy.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, so you guys at home might realize we're not super duper energetic and shit. It's kind of been a rough week, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Shane before we started airing about we began this home buying process, and my wife and I, and it's never done anything like it before, only ever rented, and it's just like super aggravating and stressful, and it's like a damn seller's market, so everybody's trying to find a home, and we found like this dope home, man, this bomb home. It was like perfect, fit the bill for everything. Came in below our budget, so we had some wiggle room to negotiate, and like we went and showed up, and there was already like 8 people outside looking at the home, which was fine. But we ended up putting in an offer, and then we ended up going a little bit higher on our offer, and it went to somebody else. But this home was dirty, bro. It was great. Like 3-bedroom, 2-bath, like 1,500 square feet on an acre. And that's something I've always wanted for a while now is
Some land.
yeah, some land, some damn breathing room, and also it was secluded, man. It was out in the sticks, and that's just super appealing to me. So I'm trying not to let it get me down too much, but it's aggravating.
So what do you think is like your way out of that sunken place?
And so that's the thing. Like I don't know and that's kind of what we were talking about when we first started. I like to perpetually remain in that place. I know those waters, and
how, like,
just getting the fuck over it. That's how, letting it go, understanding that's life. Oh, it is what it is. I mean, I have to understand there's a reality to it. Like the home's gone.
but instantly, this is something that's not in your control. But if you found a home as good or better, that would take you out of the way you feel about this past home.
Unless I didn't get that home too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's something that you can't control that would get you out of that mood.
Right.
You can't fully rely on that, because if that doesn't come, then you're gonna still be in that mood.
Yeah. Right.
So
Right.
it's just and I'm not preaching or whatever. I'm going through similar things too, but it's just about navigating of being like, I know that is comfortable for you, and it is waters, and in some ways I think, it is home. But like, it's just about figuring out ourselves. And, I talk about that timetable. So 5 years ago, maybe something like this would happen, and 2 months of like, just not being motivated and being depressed, or, just examples.
Right.
But now maybe it's shortened down to you're only going to feel like that for 2 weeks or whatever. And it's like, how can you get that shorter and shorter? Because, you're there and you're okay there because like that's the waters and you're comfortable. But within you, those things affect other people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I think it's so important. Like I love how you've like began to open up and talk about these things, like, because I think that's what's going to really help you the most.
Yeah.
Getting it out here
Right.
instead of in here.
Right.
You know
what else I think a problem is for me personally is I think I've gotten a little too fancy, man. I think I've gotten a little too I don't know. Like whenever I was growing up, I don't think I could ever really imagine myself like owning a fucking home. Like whatever
your parents
home.
never owned
whatever
a
home,
right?
Right, exactly. I think they did at one time. They did, and we got evicted from that home, which was the nicest home I had ever lived in. Actually,
that was the last home I stayed in North Carolina too, as well.
That's the nicest home I've ever lived in. We got evicted from that.
I remember being in there like, oh shit.
Yeah,
you guys came up.
2 stories. My dad built a fence around the backyard. It was fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as growing up, I don't think I really could have imagined that I'd be owning a home and whatever kind of home. And now here I am, like moving into adulthood, starting to get a successful career, and I think I'm just getting a little too fancy mentally. I think I need to
be like
humble the fuck
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Because I'm just setting myself up for disappointment, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And it happens everywhere, you know. But that awareness and knowing that's your way out,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Just trying to navigate these paths, trying to navigate this mind.
And you know, are you gonna like go through the what was Odysseus's journey? I know it was the Odyssey, but he had to like go through like
That was Homer.
Homer?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Homer in the Odyssey.
Oh okay.
I don't remember what the journey was.
But it's like you know that now, and it's like, you know, once we leave here and the podcast is done, it's like you know, and this I'm calling myself out as well. It's like, so what are we gonna do? Are we just gonna sit here and be like, oh well, we know the answer? Are we gonna take the easy way out of being like, nope, let's just sulk,
Mm-hmm.
like let's stay in this,
Right.
or are we gonna be like, you know, for you, there's just off the top of my head, I could think of a couple steps to get you back on that path. For myself,
Yeah.
I know that too. So
Right.
what am I going to do after this?
Right.
And like me just saying that, like I want to have somebody in my head just calling myself out and be like, come on, like look what you're preaching, you know?
Yeah.
Are you just going to be somebody who once these cameras shut off, be like, all right, back to
Right.
feeling like shit.
Right.
So just calling myself out kind of motivates me too in some way, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I try to do that.
So I think that's what we should do is like, you know, make those two things list
Mm-hmm.
and like come back and see how we feel next week.
Yeah. I'm really trying to keep that perspective. So one positive thing I am doing for myself mentally is I am trying to keep that perspective of I've been through some shitty things in my life, and you know, like we always say, it always works out.
Yeah.
It always works out. And whenever I'm going through hard times, even though I do like staying in the sunken place, I do try and keep the perspective of one day I'm going to look back on this shit and I'm like, dude.
A 2-month like interval that is lost. You won't remember it.
Yeah,
You know?
remember? Yeah, right.
You won't remember.
No,
it.
on my memory. Like,
Oh,
Brad,
yeah, for
Brad, don't even worry about it, bro. It's gonna be okay. Just give it a month.
No, and you know that doesn't get you out of that place, but it's important to know that as well.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Because I mean, honestly, it's not a fucking big deal. Whenever I think about it like that, like, dude, remember that one time you thought that house was just like the best thing
Yeah.
ever? I mean, even a year from now, I'll look back on it like that.
Yeah.
So, try not to get too worried about it.
No, but that process, you know, just on a lower scale is even like real frustrating, and that's why I've told you like I've kind of taken that role away from like a realtor or something to like do the job myself, and I've been able to do that. Like
Yeah.
I've been, and it's because it matters to me the most
Right.
in that situation.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and if it mattered to that person as much, they would be able to do exactly what Shane did.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, that's important to know too, because just like in any industry, there's like lazy people,
Right.
you know. But
Yeah, I could see myself doing well in that industry, though.
I think
really
so
think
too.
I could. I mean, because I'm just a hustler at heart, you know, and I usually do give a fuck. Like whatever I try and put an effort toward, you know, I usually care. I'm invested. I'm passionate about it. I want to grind as hard as I can. I'm a pretty personable dude, so I think I got interpersonal skills. Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, I wonder how long the classes are, cause I don't know, man. This nursing thing is cool, like, and it's really cool to be able to help people, and especially help people at their most vulnerable. Like, that's really, really special. You
Yeah.
don't get that in many places, and but at the same time, it's a super stressful career. It's a stressful career. You're a very underappreciated person in that healthcare tier, and I like the idea of like being able to put on nice clothes every day and go, you know, I don't know, man. Like it seems like there's a lot of autonomy too in real estate. Like I mean, it seems like it from the outside looking in. Like,
Yeah,
you're looking stuff up. You're doing research. It's on you.
It's on you,
sales. Yeah.
which can be hard in
Yeah.
some ways. But you know, it's funny that you said that. Me and Montana were talking about you last night. I'm like, you know, we'll shoot a podcast after work, and like, I went into work, and just like any job, it can be stressful. But like worst case scenario, like nothing really bad is gonna happen unless I hurt myself.
Right.
But
Unless I
I'm
die.
like Brad will like go to work and have to like hold a heart, and
Yeah.
like we always like make the joke about that, but I'm sure you do a shitload of like so intensive like high pressure situations.
Right.
So you can't go in there with just a mindset of like, oh, I'm just going to work
Just gonna
today,
punch the clock. Yeah.
Yeah, like
No, you can't.
but yeah, we probably just need like a deep breath.
Yeah.
Dude, sometimes that's what I do, and I will immediately feel a little bit better just to slow things down. Like on the way over here, my brain was like racing, like fucking racing.
All that coffee.
Yeah, I'm sure that doesn't help.
Get some good breathing in. On a lighter note, I know you're not as big of a video game person as I am, but I've recently gotten back into like single player video games. So like you and I play Rocket League sometimes and stuff like that, which I like competitive games. But I've been getting back into single player role
Like
playing
story
games.
mode?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I used to love video games when I first got into them was the escapism.
Yeah.
Just the same reason that you like listening to podcasts so much.
Yep.
It kind of takes you away from your reality. But I hadn't, been getting into those kind of games in a long time. But anyway, I recently started playing them, and, it's just so nice, man. It's just nice, like, just escaping, like, honestly. Just diving into a different world, inhabiting the shoes of another person, even though they're fictional. But it's like watching a really long-ass movie that you control. And, I don't know. It's really cool. Been playing a game called The Witcher 3. Which is like
Sounds familiar.
super highly critically acclaimed. It came out in like 2015. Dirty game, bro. They're actually making a Netflix series or movie about it now.
Really?
Yeah, with Henry Cavill, the guy who played Superman. It's gonna be pretty dope.
It's pretty cool.
Yep. A lot of games coming out.
Have you seen that show Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis?
Mhm.
You saw how they're coming out with a Netflix movie
Yeah,
for
I
it?
did.
That shit
Yeah,
looks
that's
funny,
interesting.
bro.
That's interesting. Isn't that cool?
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Like, hey, one day Stop the Ship gets picked up by Netflix or some other streaming giant.
Fuck yeah.
Anything can happen, man. And podcasts now are like really, I mean, I know we've said we're still kind of on the forefront, but they really are catching wind. Like these fucking things, I'm seeing them on ESPN now. And like so that's pretty cool though. It's really cool that, although those kinds of things, I mean, you're kind of getting away from one of the core elements of podcasting, I feel like, which is the independence. It's the autonomy to not be held down by some kind of network. It's your
But they
creative
have
freedom.
power in it.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, I would hope, I would hope not to ever have my creativity stifled by some kind of external force like that.
Well, there is no hope. Like that's our line.
Yeah. But
We don't-
like
we
I was
don't-
just saying though, if we ever got acquired by some kind of streaming service or something like that.
Well, it's like the Chappelle.
Yeah.
It's just like Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
So they start trying to control his show where he was getting $50 million. And do you know how much balls it takes to walk away from that like he did? Fast forward 10 years later, signs a $60 million deal with Netflix.
Right.
With all his creative control.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if you have that belief in yourself, then, we don't ever need to compromise this,
Right.
Like, if somebody has some good ideas or something, but if it's something that we don't believe in, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, this is ours,
Yeah.
Obviously, money matters and shit, but all we could do is be Shane and Brad,
Right. Well.
This
I
guy's
think it's
signing
cool,
deals behind my back, obviously.
Like I didn't want to tell you, but we've got some exciting things happening.
We got a new Fox logo right here.
Speaking of signing deals, I told you a little bit about this, but I'll tell the people out there. So, a lot of you guys who are watching are Nurse Bass fans. But for those of you who may not know, I have a separate channel called Nurse Bass, and that's where I first started on YouTube. And it's been lucrative, and it's been like a lot of, inspiring a lot of people and things like that. And there's been deals that have come up as a side effect. So, we got to go talk. I got to go talk in Texas earlier this year. I'll get to go out to Texas again next year and talk. But I just had another cool deal pop up where I got reached out to by a head of a student nurses association in Florida, and they want to fly me out, and they're trying to hold a conference, kind of similar to what NRSNG did, obviously not on that scale, but and it's going to be sponsored by their student nurses association. And they reach out to me and they're like, what accommodations would you need? I'm like, at the bare minimum, a hotel and flight. And they're like, yeah, at the bare minimum, like our director of the association's already agreed to that, but would you charge a fee or whatever? So it's cool that opportunity's popped up. But yeah. I was like, where in Florida are you at? And I wasn't aware. I don't think I've told you, but it's in Key West.
Oh, really?
And I've never looked up Key West on the map or anything, even though I'm from Miami. It's right down there. But
yeah,
I wasn't
some,
aware.
Little islands and shit.
Yeah, it's just way down there, which is crazy. I was like, I wasn't even aware that they have any kind of nursing schools down there. But I thought that was cool. I was like, so I really hope this thing comes through, because that'd really be a cool experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Go out there, talk, kiss some babies, get some more footage.
Punch some babies.
Punch some babies, and maybe I don't think it would be the kind of thing where it'd been an extended stay like Texas was, but at least maybe take a couple hours out and go hit a beach or something.
But maybe you could make it that.
Go see what Key West has to offer.
Just tell them, they just have to cover the rooms the room that they were already going to do.
Yeah.
And then maybe, you and Ashley go down there and, you're only paying for one flight then.
Right.
A couple extra days, but then you get to do what we've been talking about, and you're in Key West, so there's definitely some real nice places over there. You probably need, a little
bit of cash.
Well, we all need a little bit of that, but I was going to say a breather.
Oh, yeah.
To get away.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I hope that works out.
It's interesting, really cool. To see, and I'm sure as time goes on, those opportunities will come more and more, and then all of a sudden, fast forward 2 years from now, it's you're a speaker.
Oh, I hope so.
That's your job.
Yeah, well, yeah, I hope so. That's why whenever I got to go to Texas this year, it was really cool. And, I'm sure it was something kind of ego boosting, to try and boost my ego. But, on the program, it says keynote speaker. I was the last speaker, and it says keynote. But just to see it on paper, that's something that I've wanted. I've wanted to be
something that you worked for, too.
The keynote. I wanted to be the person flown in to give the speech.
Fuck
I watch a lot of Gary Vee and shit, and that's what he does. But I enjoy that. And that's the biggest thing. I want to talk to people, making those motivational videos. It's cool. It's just me kind of being me.
Talk to him right now.
But yeah, no, it's just really awesome to be able to actually, be able to be flown out and give speeches.
Yeah, you should feel proud about that. That's something that you made happen.
Yeah, that's true. So I hope it keeps going up, man. I hope it continues, and I hope I'm able to continue to just be myself, talk about my life and what's in my head, and it continues to touch others.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of value in there, and I think that's the path.
Yeah.
I think you have that to offer. It's proven. The proof is there, so it's just about giving it your full investment, and making it the reality, or just seeing what comes along and grab what comes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited, though. I remember having a conversation with another nurse, Katie Kleber. She was in Charlotte, and we knocked out a couple videos together, and she's a big time entrepreneur. She's making shit happen. And she's gotten to go at that point in time, which this was probably 2 years ago now. She got to go to some colleges and give speeches, and she was kind of trying to explain to me how, these schools don't have money for extra shit like that. They just don't most times. So, explain it to me the way in which she navigates those paths, you know, how she can reach out to external companies and have them try and sponsor so that she can get paid.
Yeah.
And then, you know, she can, you know, promote them a
Smart.
little bit. But, yeah, it's something that I kind of want to explore because I really enjoy that. I really enjoy just talking to people and providing that motivation because so many people need it, man. So many people really need it. I feel like I say the same shit every week, but they do. Like, there's
Me
so
too.
many people just struggling, bro. And they get all those messages and comments on YouTube. It's one thing, you know, it's one thing, but it doesn't have the same impact as seeing the person, looking the fucking person in the eyes. And to get to do that at Texas was really, really cool, man. I really appreciate everybody who did come out.
And all it takes, it's all worth it. If even for one.
Yeah.
If it changes one,
Yeah.
it makes everything worth it. The whole preparation, the whole flying, like everything.
The whole 24 hours
All
on the
that shit.
Greyhound. Yeah.
But you know, obviously the goal is more, but that to save one life, man, is fucking. There's no value to that. Like there's nothing you could buy.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But anyways, no, it's good shit.
So exciting opportunity coming up.
More reasons to be positive.
Yeah.
I got a reason to be positive.
What's that?
Want to get into some this or that?
Some this or that. By the way, this beat's dope that you decided.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that beat a lot. What you got, man?
Let's go.
What you got, man? I'm ready to hear it.
Don't get too excited.
I'm ready to hear it, bro. I'll take a nap over here. I also feel like in every video I'm like always leaning way over here.
Yeah, that's how we fucking do it. That's why the set's gotta fucking expand.
Yeah.
Look at me. I got one arm.
And I'm leaning in to get that one arm safe. I sat up straight.
So
Tagging all these days off. What you got?
all right. Would you rather have whatever you're thinking to appear above your head for everyone to see, or have absolutely everything you do live streamed for anyone to see?
Oh man.
So everything you do is live streamed,
Yeah.
all parts of your day, like the Truman Show. Or
Yeah.
every thought that comes, like, because your thoughts are at least secret in the live stream.
That's a good one right there. That's a good one.
I didn't think about it. Yeah, I just saw it and I was just like, all right, let's go.
Yeah,
with
that's
that.
a good one. Oh man.
Your thoughts are sacred,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, nobody can touch that.
but also if everyone's seeing like everything you do all day, every day, like that's so intrusive, you know?
Yeah.
Just
man.
nobody sees the little like how you fix yourself even before we start the podcast, but people would judge that if they did.
Nah. Only the ladies would judge that because they don't know what it's
Well,
like.
look, this
all the
how-
fellas at home, they'd be like,
No,
bro,
no,
I
the
feel
fellas would judge too, because this is how
Nah.
you fix yourself. You go like this. This is Brad when he fixes them.
I got to get a quick one in before we start recording. You think I fix them myself, but you know.
Basically,
just
jerk.
Just
You're
handling
like
business. Yeah.
2 things away from jerking
No,
off.
no, yeah. I already busted twice. What do you mean? Nah, I would.
No, I busted a couple of times while we've been doing podcasts.
Yeah, I wouldn't do the live stream.
So you
That's
do
a
the
tough
thoughts?
one. Yeah, it's a tough one, but that's what I do.
Yeah. Because then you could just like not hang out with people and nobody would ever see your
Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much what it boils down to.
shit. Yeah, I'd probably pick that too.
And I think some wild shit, and I know we
Yeah.
all do though. But
It's like the whole time while we're doing the podcast, you're just thinking like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? People are just like, Shane, why are you doing this podcast? This guy's got no
I
respect
fucking
for
hate you. That's funny. Yeah, no, I couldn't. I don't know. It's like that battle though. It's like, you know, the conversation how like we should be recording everything all the time just for the content's sake. But at the same time, it's like
Yeah, there's a time when that shit has to go off.
yeah. Yeah, God, no, that'd be horrible. That'd be horrible for everything to be recorded or streamed.
Yeah.
Your personal time behind closed doors with your family. Like, you don't want everybody in on your personal life and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Fuck it. It's like what women want. Like, you see
Yeah.
that?
That's funny. Did you ever see the skit on the Chappelle Show where like he had a camera that could read people's minds?
Nah.
Fuck, man, that shit is so funny.
Yeah, I bet. He's a funny guy.
That shit is so funny, man.
I wish I had this or that prepared, but I don't.
It's alright. We'll just go with that one.
I like that one though. That's hilarious.
But yeah, I would pick the same thing you did.
Would you rather be a starter for the Miami Dolphins, or would you rather be riding the bench for the Patriots?
Just because of head trauma, I'd rather ride the bench.
What if you were just like the kicker and you were good at kicking?
Oh, that would be awesome.
But would
That
you
would be
rather
fucking
be
awesome.
starting for the Dolphins and get out there and get some kicks in, kickoffs and field goals and be
Yeah.
playing?
Yeah.
Or would you rather just be riding the bench?
Nah, I'd be the kicker, bro.
You could be No, I'm saying you still be the kicker for the Patriots. You're just riding the bench. You'll never see the field.
Oh no, that I would do it. That would be so exciting to be like a part of it and
Yeah.
to like, pressure is good.
Yeah.
Like you can't just have no pressure on you.
So what you're saying? You'd go for the Dolphins?
Yeah, I'd go for the Dolphins.
Damn, dude, I'm a fucking diehard Miami fan, but I'd probably go for the Patriots. I gotta be chilling, not doing shit. Just go out there into practice, be chilling with Tom. What's up, Tom? How you doing? You gonna get us a ring this year? You just be chilling.
Antonio Brown's on the team now. You got to deal with that drama.
That's all right. Drama ain't on me.
Nah, there's no drama in that organization.
How much do you think the worst kicker in the NFL gets paid?
A couple 100,000.
See what I'm saying? I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. But also, kicker is like a ruthless.
You think they get paid a couple 100,000?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
No,
No, I
believe
don't know,
me, I
man.
know.
Believe me, I
Dude.
know.
My Madden like fucking credentials, bro. They don't play around. I've been signing kickers since
Like, dude, I'm on my 13th
04.
season as a head coach.
for real.
Nah, I think like some linemen who are real low on the totem pole are only getting paid like maybe less than 100,000, maybe 100,000.
Even practice squad guys get like close to $100,000. Not a lot.
Bullshit.
They're like right around. They're like right around 80. We'll fact check it. Peg will throw it up there.
I doubt it. He's probably on vacation still.
Fuck, bro. Peg, where you at, bro? Look at what this podcast has become without
Dude
you.
really takes more vacations than anybody I know. Like on a serious note, he's going to the beach all the time. He's probably been to the beach. This is just from the outside looking in. He's probably been to the beach like at least 4 times this year.
Dude, I haven't even been
At least.
in a pool this year.
Right?
But do you
And
think he's?
I work at a pool.
Do you think he's embezzling stop the shit money?
Oh, man. Conversation for another time.
We gotta look into that.
Right? Like, dude, I ain't been paid in fucking
Who's
2
paying for
months.
these beach trips?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
Nah, you do.
I don't know what we're doing with our lives.
Nah, we do.
Just sitting here in front of a camera and talking.
So
Gonna get those 40 views and get out of there. You know?
damn, don't be so negative, bro.
Why not? It's okay sometimes. It's okay sometimes.
Nah,
That's the thing, man.
Those
This is
iTunes views going up, man.
You can't view anything on iTunes, man.
Well, you could listen, view.
Yeah, they are going up. I think we're up to like 27 subscribers now.
No, I think we're at 30.
Oh, we hit 30.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. We're on our way.
I hate you.
I'll be looking at our Instagram posts sometimes. Like, Monty's liking it from multiple accounts. I'm just like,
fucking
fuck, bro. This is what my life's become.
oh, stop it, bro. It's all gotta start somewhere. You don't remember those Nurse Bass days, bro?
Oh, I remember them Nurse Bass days.
Same thing.
Yeah. I just like to dwell in it sometimes.
Yeah. It's that's something inspiring to me, just to remember, just like they say, even with money, like that first million is like the hardest, you know. And it's just about with this, it's about a platform. Like once we have a certain platform,
Yeah.
you know, but
Everything
anyways,
starts multiplying quicker.
yeah. But I think it's good to, you know, show this side that, you know, we preach motivation and all that shit, but sometimes we're not always motivated.
Yeah.
I think people can relate to that.
Like last week, whenever we had Tyree on, which, by the way, if you hadn't seen that episode, it's really fruitful.
Check it out, Ville mentality.
But how we were talking about how, you know, it's important for people to see these kinds of things right now because, you know, if a lot of times, like on Instagram, all you're doing is looking through a filtered lens, right? Like all you see is the best, most glamorous side of this person's life. Like whenever, that's something else that Gary Vee talks about, and I bring this motherfucker up every podcast. But he's like, you know, people look at entrepreneurship like it's such a glamorous thing, and you know what people aren't talking about are the incredibly high rates of suicidality and everything else that's super negative. Like the percentage of people who fail is so astronomical. Like people aren't talking about that. All you see is all the glamorous things about entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
and it's the same thing, you know, with Instagram. Same thing with podcasting. Like right now, you know, I mean, I could sit on this damn camera every week and tell you guys about all the great things you can do to make your life better, but at the same time, like, fuck, bro, we're dealing with it too.
Yeah, I think it's important to put that like that realism out there, and that's just the way it is, bro.
Yeah.
So if you guys got some motivation, why don't you send that shit our way?
Yeah, that's another cool thing, you know, like we all need help. We
Everybody.
all, yes, even people that you guys might look up to,
Especially Trump.
Yeah. Nah, he's cool, man. He's sitting pretty.
You think he ever thinks like, maybe that was stupid? I doubt it, bro. Set it and forget it.
I doubt it too. Yeah, I doubt it too. That's funny to think about.
Set it and forget it. That's definitely his MO.
Plus, you know, I think when you get to a certain age, like you're just like, dude, fuck it, man. Like,
Well, imagine your ego, and you're a loser.
yeah,
I'm
right,
just kidding. But imagine your ego just as a regular person,
right.
and then imagine somebody
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's not even something you can take control of.
Right.
You know,
That's crazy.
he's got golden towers. You know, did you ever hear that joke about how Donald Trump's like if a homeless guy got won the lottery?
No.
Like he's like, I want big golden buildings with my name on the front. He's like, I want golden hair. Like he went into like a bunch of different things. And I'm like, dude, that's a pretty good point.
Who was that?
I forgot.
Oh, somebody.
I'm the king of remembering jokes and not remembering who did it. Only like I'll remember it if it's like a big comedian like Burr or Chappelle or somebody like that. But I actually don't listen to as much comedy as I used to. Specials, I mean. Yeah. Not comedy content. I listen to a shitload of that.
Gotcha.
But just like you were saying, how it's important to show both sides. You know, some of the people I'm biggest fans of are people that show both sides.
Yeah.
And I've seen them at their darkest moments, and I relate to that. So that's why I follow, and that's why I draw inspiration. So I think it's important for us to not bullshit.
Yeah.
And you know, when we're feeling like a little down and
just keep it real, man.
Just keep it real, bro.
Just because it might not make for the best content, you know, it's still important to put it out there.
Yeah.
It
Can't
really
come
is.
with that fire every week, you know what I'm saying?
Shit, I come with that fire every fucking week, boy. I could, but
I could.
yeah. I mean, I could.
Yeah.
I could put on a front.
All right, so let's hear.
I could act like everything's cool, bro. You know, hey, another week, another episode to Stop the Ship. Look at me. Look at me. I could be doing that.
All right, so I want you to give that fire and that on game in this outro right now.
Are we doing the outro right now?
Yeah, let's throw it in there.
Why do you want the outro to be so?
Because I just want to see how good you are.
Oh shit!
Let's see how good. Of a
So I gotta
freak you-
flip the script from.
Yeah,
the
like we
mood
just
I'm
had
in.
we just had like the most bomb fire motivating episode.
Oh yeah.
Like
Shit, it's probably gonna cut out. Nah, it's cool. Shit. So we just had the most bomb. All right, let me get in character here.
we're feeling good. Like that was the best this or that shit we ever had, bro. We're going places. We got some good news.
It's tough to suppress the fucking way I feel. Let's see. All right, let me get a sip of this sponsored. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys for hanging out with us and spending a little bit of time with us,
Fuck
man.
yeah, we do.
You know. really hope that you guys took a little bit of inspiration and motivation away from this, man. Just to know that, you know, not every day is going to be good. Not every day is going to be great. You know, you are going to have bad times, but it's all about navigating those hills and valleys, man.
Hell yeah.
You know, see, and then it just feels like a front.
Well, it is.
Yeah, I guess it is. But nah, man. Seriously though, we do appreciate you hanging out with us, man. Not every day is gonna be good, and even though we give advice and shit like that, it's not always easy to follow, as you can tell. Like I said, I like remaining in the sunken place, man. So it's just a matter of trying to navigate out of that mindset.
And if this is something that, you know, you've gone through or whatever, like, you know, share that shit with us. It's just the word that you just used was perfect. Like, this is just a hangout. So if we were hanging out with somebody and they had a different perspective or something to get us out of the rut, like,
right.
we would want to hear that. So, yeah, man.
Not surprised, motherfuckers.
I'm not surprised. And he said quit bitching, so I don't know. But anyways.
He lied.
All right. It's been fun. No matter what, when we come in here and we get this done, like, this is like sometimes my favorite part of the week, whether it's positive or negative.
Yeah.
Like, I love hanging out with you. I love hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, for real, I do
and
too.
You know, this ship ain't stopping. We know that for sure. So let's just keep it going. Follow us on all the socials. Instagram at @stoptheship_. Twitter, even though we don't use that shit.
It's all on the screen, man.
Yeah, okay.
It's all on the screen, man.
Well,
don't hurt your brain trying to remember all this stuff, man.
Yeah, I was
what
trying.
we got paid for.
What we got?
Yeah,
well, if pay comes in, this might just be a raw video.
Yeah, we might just be giving that motherfucker the boot.
But it's been a pleasure, guys. Share this shit. Watch some.
Don't share this one.
Yeah, if out of all the ones you share, this one, come on, guys, get your life together.
Yeah, God. Nah, listen. Thank you, man. Thank you for just giving a fuck enough to watch. It means a lot. Until next week.
Peace out, everybody.
Deuces, man.
Lion in the jungle.